It was Christmas Eve and the snow outside was beginning to fall. In the house at the end of the street, Marie and her brother Fritz were getting ready for a party. The room had been decorated and in the corner stood a wonderful Christmas tree covered in twinkling lights, tiny sugared almonds, and at the very top a beautiful pink sugar plum fairy. As the party guests began to arrive, Marie spotted her godfather through the crowd. Godfather Drosselmeyer was a famous toy maker, and he always arrived with gifts for Fritz and Marie. Once the party had started, Godfather Drosselmeyer called the children over so he could reveal their presents. Sat on the table was a splendid castle with golden towers and rooms filled with miniature people. The castle was being protected by model horses and an army of toy soldiers in bright red uniforms. While her brother began to play with the toy soldiers, Marie spotted a large, curious wooden man on the edge of the table. He was also wearing a smart uniform, long black boots and a fine-looking hat. The thing that struck Marie most was his face, for the man was smiling up at her. "Aha," said Godfather Drosselmeyer, "I see you've found the Nutcracker." Godfather Drosselmeyer explained that he had made the Nutcracker especially for Marie. He told her that it was a very special toy with so many magical secrets. Suddenly Fritz, who was no longer interested in playing with the smaller toy soldiers, pulled the Nutcracker out of his sister's hands and snap! The Nutcracker's jaw broke in two. "You must look after your Nutcracker," said Godfather Drosselmeyer as he mended the toy. "He may look like a strong soldier, but you are his protector, Marie." Later that night, Marie couldn't sleep. She crept downstairs and tiptoed over to the Christmas tree. She picked up the Nutcracker, then, at long last, she lay down under the tree and fell asleep. Marie awoke to the sound of the clock striking midnight. She looked up at the Christmas tree. It seemed to be growing taller and taller, or was she getting smaller and smaller? Hearing a noise, Marie turned around and was astonished to see a Nutcracker walking towards her, followed by his army of toy soldiers. Before she could make sense of it, there came a scuttling sound, and into the room poured hundreds of mice. Then, from out of the shadows came the most enormous mouse Marie had ever seen. "The Mouse King!" gasped the Nutcracker. "Attack!" cried the Mouse King. "To battle!" cried the brave Nutcracker. With a cheer, the toy soldiers raised their swords and ran towards the army of mice, who were squeaking and gnashing their sharp little teeth. During the battle, the Nutcracker became so busy that he did not see the Mouse King sneaking up behind him. From across the room, Marie saw her Nutcracker in trouble and thought quickly. She pulled off one of her slippers and threw it at the Mouse King. The enormous mouse fell to the ground, and the crown tumbled from his head. The battle had been won. As the mice scurried away, the Nutcracker picked up the golden crown and gave it to Marie. "Thank you," he said. "You saved my life. Let me take you somewhere truly magical." Holding her hand, the Nutcracker led Marie through a small secret door that had appeared in the wall. On the other side of the door was the most beautiful forest Marie had ever seen. The trees glittered and sparkled like diamonds, and each one had silver fruits and sugared almonds hanging from its branches. "Welcome to the land of sweets," said the Nutcracker. The pair soon arrived at a rippling lake. The water was the softest pink and the smell of roses filled the air. A curious little boat lay bobbing on the water, as though it had been waiting for them. Stepping in, Marie and the Nutcracker began to magically glide across the lake of roses. On the other side of the lake stood a magnificent castle that appeared to be made entirely of sweets. "Look," said the Nutcracker, "that's Marzipan Castle. It's where the Sugar Plum Fairy lives." A fairy in a sparkling pink and white dress greeted them. "Welcome," said the Sugar Plum Fairy. "You've arrived just in time. The dancing is about to begin." The sound of music filled the air, and Marie and the Nutcracker watched as performers from faraway lands took it in turn to dance. They leapt and fluttered across the room in wonderful explosions of colour, but nothing compared to the dance of the Sugar Plum Fairy. She twirled quickly and gracefully, spinning faster and faster, until the room became a blur, and Marie's tired eyes began to close. When Marie woke up on Christmas morning, she was surprised to find herself lying under the Christmas tree. "You won't believe the adventures I've had," she said to her mother. Then she told her all about the Nutcracker and the Mouse King and the dance of the Sugar Plum Fairy. "It sounds like a wonderful dream," said her mother. "But it was only a dream, Marie. See the wooden Nutcracker in your arms and the fairy on top of the tree?" For a moment Marie was quiet. Then she reached into her pocket and found a tiny golden crown. With a smile, she placed it on the Nutcracker's head and whispered, "I'll see you next Christmas Eve."